SharkyBreath.
He plays video games.
No. Hey, the Titus gang is gone. Anyway, hello. Hello, and welcome back to Disco Elysium. Last time we met, I was in my shack about to go to sleep, but then it occurred to me, I mentioned specifically, I pondered whether Gart had given me my tape back, but it occurs to me, I didn't actually talk to Gart after singing karaoke, so I'm gonna talk to Gart, which seems like it should have been a no-brainer to do right afterwards, but I was distracted, I guess. I don't know. I have no excuse. Hi, Gart.
Smallest church in Saint-Saëns, right?
The cafeteria manager is waiting for you to acknowledge that he recognized the song. Yes, well done, Gart. He's been waiting in a full hour to make sure that I could acknowledge that he recognized the song. Yeah, the church is actually my past. Yeah, the church is actually my life. Yeah, the church is actually my love. Things are really bad with it. I fucking rocked that shit. Told you I'd rock that shit. Okay. Okay. So what do we say? Well, let's see here. The lyrics involved the Church of Saint-Saëns, and it was like used to be a really pleasant place for the person singing, but then it got lonely and bad, basically. Like there was no hope anymore type of thing, like something like that. I don't know. It's been a little while since I sang it. Okay, I'm sorry. But in any case, things were good-ish, and now they were bad, basically. That does sound like, okay, when I was having my flip out over the weekend, was it specifically about my relationship? No, it was about pretty much everything, right? The church is actually my life. Do we go with that one? I mean, yeah, because things are still pretty bad, right? I'm trying to turn things around, but what is there to turn around? It's fairly bleak. The church is my life. The church is my life, Gart.
Cool. Now, what can I do for you?
He really does sound like he thinks it's a little cool. Okay, cool, Gart. Can I have my tape back? Gart, can I have my... Gart.
Another thing.
Gart.
Great. I love those.
Gart?
Yes.
Do I just have it? Is it just in my... Where would it be? That was an interact, right? It was here. It was specifically here. Gart, give me back my tape. Gart, give me back my tape. There's the empty one. Gart.
Hey, was there something you needed?
He's not giving me back my tape. Okay, I can't have my tape back. Turns out, can't have my tape back. Lovely, great. Mission failed, I guess. Okay, well, this has been a lovely detour. I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. Bedtime. There may be one...
It's getting late.
Yeah. There may be one thing I should take care of before I go to bed. Look at this. Look at all these skill points. I have 5 of them, and I'm nearly having 6 of them. This is getting ridiculous. So I'm thinking what I should do. If I were to just shove 3 points into endurance, max it out, right? And then go into my... Because I've got the... in my thought cabinet, I've got the volumetric shit compressor, right? Which all that it does for me at this point, since I can't... there were no white checks for... No, there was one white check to be unlocked when I had this thought in the first place, but the learning cap for endurance is raised to 4. That's all that it does. Now, I don't use endurance a lot because I think the main thing with endurance is that it allows you to do drugs more, and I've been trying to not do drugs at all. I suppose I could reconsider that policy if I had a lot of endurance. But, like, in any case, if I spent 3 points on endurance and then spent a point to get rid of volumetric shit compressor and then started up on another thought, I would still have another skill point left in case I needed to do a white check at some point tomorrow, you know? So I think I'm going to do that. I figure there's probably worse things you could spend your points on than staying alive. So I guess I'm going to do that. It may not be the smartest thing I've ever done. But... like I say, it could be worse, right? I think it could be worse. So, accept? Okay, great. Look at all my health. I got so much health now. Lovely. I sure hope that wasn't a stupid thing. It might have been a stupid thing. I do stupid things sometimes. In any case, this horrific little man with his guts coming out of his bottom, or something getting spilled into his guts, is that what's happening here? Hang on. There's a hole in this, and there's presumably shit coming out, and it's just going into this man's... Yeah, okay, cool. Well, let's forget it. Let us forget this. Forget it. Confirm. Okay, so what do we put in its place? Superstar Cop, Apocalypse Cop, Finger Pistols. I do kind of want the Finger Pistols thought. I mean, all of this stuff seems like it's going to be interesting in one way or another, right? Minus one rhetoric, weird jaw. Lawjaw. Lawjaw. I spent a long time unlocking the Lawjaw thing, but also Finger Pistols has come up and I hadn't finished the thought yet. I don't need to think about these things that hard, do I? I really don't. Oh, and we do have the Coldo Aqua. That's also a thing. I want to look at all these thoughts is the thing. I want to look at all of them. Anyway, I think for right now, why don't we start with Lawjaw? It's just a place to start, you know? Internalize. Done. Okay, great. Decision made. I'm going to bed. I'm going
The bed is
to bed.
comforting, if a bit run down. Still, you've earned a rest.
Plus, the last 2 nights I've been sleeping in a room with a broken window in the middle of the winter. So yes, go to sleep.
Across the room, the heating system hums its soft lullaby. The mattress feels soft and sheets warm. It only takes you moments for the world to fall away.
Man, that sounds amazing, though. That sounds great. Continue.
Thoughts, baby.
Oh, boy.
A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother.
Why am I now?
All those faces and all those names. All that laughter and screaming and scheming around. Every corner and every street.
Why is it then whenever you give this kind of a speech, it doesn't sound like you're actually praising me, ancient reptilian brain? Continue.
Recorded in you forever on ferrotape.
Spinning in eternity, spinning on empty, spinning, spinning. Tell me, am I dreaming? Am I dreaming?
No, you're spinning tapes at the discotheque. The great unceasing disco of the mind.
Disco of the mind.
The flash. The bang. The endless learning experience.
And we have our 2 options from earlier. I'm going to go with spinning in eternity because I'm trying to be a little more positive on this one. Spinning in eternity, huh?
On and on it goes. For untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance.
Oh boy, here we go.
Rising. Rising. Above the dark curvature. The great wingspan of sleep. Studded with stars.
Well, it sounds like you're probably trying to invoke a memory of my past that's not going to make me feel good about myself, but you're also being very oblique about it, which is probably a blessing. Continue.
Behold, there are millions of them down there.
Down there.
The first time. The last time. The smoke in her mouth. The plotted flowers.
Did you mean
The
potted?
faces turning, changing.
Down there. Rising above the dark curvature. Above the stars. Millions of them down there. What is it?
It's the world, Harry boy. And you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now.
You mean I can't recede back into the darkness? Because I know you would really love it if I did, but is it just too late for that now, huh? That's probably a good thing, right? Continue?
You can never forget this shit.
The colors, the voices, the rain, the snow, I don't want to, it's beautiful. The endless visions, erase them. Last time, when I picked an option that wasn't a judgment on it, it continued. There was more to see. Let's try the colors of the voices.
All stuck on loop. Whirling, spitting out words and images.
Continue.
You're the son of the world again. Harristar, a ceaseless agent. Picking up litter and old newspapers.
I do that.
Collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards. Meaningless keepsakes.
Sure, but is it really that bad? Is meaninglessness that bad? Continue.
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
That's right, I am an agent of the world. But what if I want to be the agent of nothing? I don't think I want to be the agent of nothing. That sounds like embracing nihilism, which is exactly what I'm trying to avoid, and exactly what you two were trying to talk me into at the very beginning. I think I am an agent of the world.
You'll go insane if you keep going like this.
Will I?
One more day, and you'll be in the loony bin. I just know you will. And for what, brother man?
What makes it... Continue.
For the greater good.
Trivial empathy check. Succeeded. Go me. Continue.
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth.
You gotta let go of things, though, right? If things like this are in your past and you can never have them back, agonizing over the fact that you can never have them back isn't gonna get you anywhere either, right? If you're talking about meaninglessness, we're making progress, measured, steady progress. Pursue thought. Forget politics. I'll never sleep if I keep on like this. Pursue the thought. Pursue the thought.
There he goes again. He's a real political animal, our Harry. He still doesn't see that it's the world changing around him.
Okay, wait a second. The thing you just said and the thing that's written right there are very different. He still doesn't see that it's the world that's changing him. What you said was he still doesn't see the world changing around him. Those are very different. Which one did you mean? And is it such a bad thing if the world changes me? The world's always changing. People are always changing. Is that so bad? Continue.
He's got no idea what he's in for.
Why? Feel the pillow under your cheek. Those are very different options. I suppose this is the option where we stop paying attention to them. Maybe that's the thing to do. Maybe it's a bad idea to continue thinking about this. I'm not getting sleep if I am, but why?
'Cause only love can break your heart.
I suppose. Feel the pillow under your cheek.
Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on and on. You barely slept 3 hours last night.
You know what? 3 hours is something anyway. It's not much, but it's something to go on. Continue.
You can do it. It's nothing. Do it for the city. Go.
Volition success. I would never have expected. Continue.
Do it for the wind.
Okay. Shivers. Continue.
Do it for the picture puzzle. Put it all together. Solve the world. One conversation at a time.
I feel like this all feels kind of hopeful, doesn't it? Like my reptilian brain and my limbic system are trying to just like drag me into despair. Drive home that there's no point to any of this. But I'm keeping above it. That's about all I can do at this point. Open your eyes. I healed up. Great. I don't look like I'm doing so hot, but what we got here? Thought.
Good. You're up. Listen, there's something that's been bothering you for a few days now.
Okay, what you got? What is it?
It's a suspicion, or a feeling really, that things are not quite in hand around here.
In hand. Okay, continue.
An earth-shattering deduction from your psyche. What will those guys come up with next?
Yeah, that does seem a little bit obvious, but do continue.
Every day, things seem to spin more and more wildly, out of control. The center isn't holding. And despite your efforts to moderate and contain these energies, things only seem to be getting worse.
Do they? I mean, obviously things have been pretty bad ever since last weekend, but since then I feel like things have been somewhat stable, haven't they? Wait, I thought things were going pretty well. Let's get right to it. What needs to be done? Not my problem. It kind of is. I thought things were going pretty well.
Oh, sure. You've been making progress on your case, interviewing people, solving side tasks.
Mm-hmm. What's the but? Tell me the but.
But who's focusing on the big questions?
The big questions. Are we talking Apocalypse Cop stuff? I assumed the most qualified and highly credentialed people were taking care of that stuff. This really doesn't sound like my job. What am I supposed to do? The big questions. I mean, I feel like I have my plate pretty well full, given that I was on the edge of collapse a few days ago. Let's start here. I assumed only the most qualified people were on that.
But have you ever seen them? How do you know they're even there? More importantly, how do you know they aren't waiting for your participation?
This all sounds very delusional, Empathy. Where is this coming from? What am I supposed to do?
You've got to find out who bears la responsabilité.
What exactly is la responsabilité? I thought I was assigning responsibility for the murder. All right, give it to me. I'll accept responsibility. Okay, start here. What exactly is la responsabilité?
The most awesome, terrible thing.
Okay.
It is human nature to crave la responsabilité and to deny it. That's why it must be distributed across many different organizations, agencies, offices, and portfolios.
I guess that all tracks. I thought I was assigning responsibility for the murder?
Harry, you're thinking about this too narrowly.
I kind of thought you might be suggesting as much. Continue.
La responsabilité isn't concerned with trivial questions like who killed who. It's about the real issues, the human welfare index, the price of staple goods, the transition to real democracy.
Okay, so basically the stuff that the Sunday friend was talking to me about last night. Is that where this is coming from? Well, there's only one outcome apparently, and that is, give it to me. I'll accept responsibility. I'm guessing you're going to be like, no, you're barely qualified for that, but let's just see what you say, huh?
Whoa. This isn't some kind of dictatorship.
Right.
You can't simply seize la responsabilité for yourself.
Sure.
It must be given by a legitimate authority.
Okay, and who's the legitimate authority in this case?
Like a committee.
Okay, do we really have time for all this? And who should sit on this committee? Sounds like too much responsibility for me. I don't want it. Do we really have time for all this?
There's always time to follow best practices. Once someone's decided to cut corners for the sake of expediency, who knows what else they're capable of?
I mean, that's a valid point, but it also feels like you're dodging the question. Continue?
Swift, decisive action.
Says Volition. Okay. Is that your response to what else they're capable of if they decide to cut corners? Continue?
A little self-dealing.
Sure, I guess. I don't know what you mean by that. And who should sit on this committee?
Only the most even-keeled minds in Martinez.
For example? Continue?
Your half-brother, the lieutenant, is a natural place to start.
My half-brother. I don't think I've ever heard you refer to him as that, Esprit de Corps, but okay. My half-brother, the lieutenant. Sure, yes. Continue?
Together, you'll be able to discover who has la responsabilité in Revachol. And, if necessary, you'll have the wisdom and expertise to assign it among yourselves.
So the committee is me and Kim. It's just to sum this up. I'm not qualified to make that decision on my own, of course. So we have to have a committee, and it's Kim. And me. And what happens once we've assigned responsibility? I'm prepared to take on this awesome burden. Accept task. You know what? This sounds like a drag. Refuse task. Okay. What happens if we've assigned responsibility?
Most likely, your findings will be collected in a report, which will be carefully reviewed by your superiors.
You're thinking awfully optimistically here, Empathy, but okay, continue.
Once they've reviewed it, those same superiors will produce a set of recommendations to be taken up at the next meeting of the Standing Committee.
Great. Continue.
Rest assured, no matter what happens, it will be done through the proper channels.
Sure. I feel like this is going to result in a whole lot of nothing, because bureaucracy is a thing, and also we're just a couple of cops on a case right now, and nobody's going to take this seriously if we do this, but I'm prepared to take on this awesome burden, I guess.
Good luck. Your report is eagerly anticipated.
Cool, thanks, Empathy. Alright, let's have a look at that. Take on la responsabilité. Things down here are a mess. Someone really ought to do something about it. First, though, you and some other moralists should probably form a committee to decide whose job it is. This is the thought you're inflicting on me because I have the moralist thought in my brain, isn't it? Isn't it? Form a committee of moralists to assign responsibility. Kim might know where to start? Great. Great. How's my mirror looking? About the same as usual?
An old mirror.
Yep. Yep, it sure is. Okay, well, let's face the day. Kim is already waiting for me. That guy wastes no time. Hi, Kim. How are you? Good morning. I guess we need to talk about things. Kim, we need to talk about responsibility. I'm not sure we do, but we're going to.
I'm glad to hear it, Detective. I was wondering when we'd get to this very subject.
Good, we're on the same page then. I don't want to make any assumptions here. What do you mean?
If you ask me, it's high time for you to set aside these frivolous side tasks and focus 100% of your energies on the case before us.
Yeah, okay, I can understand where you're coming from, and I can understand how you misunderstood that, but I only have one response I can give to you, and that is, no, I meant like responsibilité, you know, the kind that gets assigned.
Why are you pronouncing it like that gentleman from the Institute of Price Stabilité?
Because that's where this came from. That's where this all came from. Continue.
You know what? Forget it. What specifically are you trying to assign responsibility for?
Point to the ground. For the murder. Point to yourself. For my disaster of a life. Spread your arms wide. For this whole situation. Also, I can't help but notice that in the course of you saying that one thing, it started snowing and then it stopped snowing again. I'm not sure how that possibly happened. But anyway, hi. Well, the thought was the whole situation, right? My disaster of a life is a whole thing, but I'm pretty sure the responsibility there lies with myself, and that's fine. For the murder, that's what we're already doing, in which case, why are we fighting? But this is what the thought was going on about, right? The whole situation.
Now I understand.
The lieutenant nods his head gravely. Continue?
Next, I suppose you're going to tell me you need to form a committee to assign this responsibility.
You're very good, Kim. How did you know?
Simple. Because moral intern types love to form committees.
I'm too impressionable. Is that maybe what you're saying? Continue?
In any event, I am just a humble law official. I may work under the moral intern's umbrella, but I'm certainly not qualified to serve on any committee.
And by extension, I suppose I'm not either. Continue?
You know who might be, though? That Mr. Villodron. The gentleman you met in the young man's apartment.
I suppose. That does seem to make sense. Continue.
If I were trying to get in touch with the coalition, I would start by seeking him out. But first, you might need to speak with his young companion.
Young companion. Oh. No, I mean, I guess I'd already made the... Right. I guess it just hadn't quite crystallized in my brain exactly what sort of relationship those two had exactly, but no, that makes sense. That's why you were laughing at me, wasn't it, Kim? That's why you were laughing at me. Okay, continue.
Now, was there anything else?
Apparently not. Great conversation, thanks. I'm not sure why I think I'm part of the moral intern now, but apparently that's a thing. How's the task going? Kim says you should look for the Sunday friend. The smoker on the balcony might know where he is. Great. Well, as far as we know, the smoker on the balcony only shows up at his apartment at 9 o'clock, so I guess we got the whole day ahead of us. So, what are we doing? What are we doing? Okay, well, let's see here. We didn't do basically any progress on our main task yesterday at all. Like, I talked to the Sunday friend, and he was useless. Like, honestly, that whole thing is kind of confusing to me still. Like, the smoker on the balcony was like, you're going to want to talk to this guy. And then I went in and talked to that guy, and that guy had nothing for me. Basically nothing. Which suggests to me that maybe the smoker on the balcony has some sort of ulterior motive. Something is going to happen involving Sunday friend that he knows about and I don't. Because otherwise, why would he think that I would want to talk to that guy? You know? In any case, let's get back to the waterfront. Okay, we're here. First, let's make sure we haven't. Whoa, hi, hello. Can I help you? What are you doing outside Kim's vehicle exactly there, friend? Hi.
That's one brutal motor carriage,
says the young man with piss written on his back. Great. It's even censored on your back, which I appreciate. Continue.
If I were a real skull now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it, neon style.
His companion wears a simple yet elegant slogan, fuck the world, and apparently they're going by those names because that's as much of names as I'm going to put in my interface. Continue.
A snazzy shit-ripped skullmobile like this would make a fine trophy. We could, like, hang fucking shrunken heads from the side mirrors. Cops' heads. Scary tribal shit.
Great. What a plan. Skull. They're saying skull the same way as Cindy the Skull is described, so I assume there's something correlating there. Yes? Continue?
Yeah, tribal shit.
He agrees.
A cop carriage like this would have proper skull value.
Skull value. Continue?
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have to stop you right there. The RCM takes threats directed at its property seriously.
I mean, given that we surrounded you before you started talking about this, yeah, that does seem like a thing that we should take note of. He steps in, by the way. That was what got skipped here. Kim steps in. Look at him go. Continue.
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality. Man, if we were certified skulls right now...
He turns to his companion. So, are the Skulls a street gang? Is that where I'm getting here? Who are you? Or we don't have time for this. Let's go. Who are you exactly?
I can tell you who we're not, cop. We're not snitches or skulls.
Appreciate the censorship. Great. That's fine, I guess, but who are you, though? Continue?
Which is not to say that the skulls are bitches and... On the contrary.
Great, cool. Yes, just in case they're listening in, is that the idea? Continue?
The part of this presentation you want to take home with you, cop man, is we're not part of the skulls yet.
And that's meant to intimidate me, I guess? That you are prospective members of maybe a street gang? Continue?
Okay then, let's indulge in some intellectual exchange. These young men seem eager to share their beliefs.
They do seem to, don't they? Okay, so we got, who are the Skulls? Do you know anything about the murder that took place here? Point to the yard. Do you guys know Cindy the Skull? What's with the jackets? Well, talking to you has definitely been something. Leave. All right, tell me about the Skulls. First and foremost, who are the Skulls?
You don't know? What kind of cop are you?
Continue.
It's not a question. Don't get into it.
I'm so glad you asked. Of course I do. I'm testing you boys. No, I really don't. It's not a question. Don't get into it. What kind of cop are you? Rhetoric doesn't want me to get into it, but I have the option of getting into it. I'm surprised. I was kind of expecting Encyclopedia to chime in at any point here, since, you know, Encyclopedia seems pretty pleased to do that sort of thing under normal circumstances. But apparently street gang's not one of my regions of expertise, huh? I suppose if I did this, it'll be interesting and then I'll take morale damage. That seems the most likely outcome. I can't not. I'm sorry. I'm so glad you asked.
The question was rhetorical.
He replies, raising his open hand.
The Skulls are the most vicious gang of the Besmertne.
Oh, okay, cool. Thanks for just filling me in. Continue.
Besmatine, or the Besmati, the Immortals, are West River Sholian crime syndicates.
Ah, okay, cool. So they're a gang within a larger syndicate. Great. Thank you, Encyclopedia. Continue.
The nastiest bunch of psychos ever. Jacking carriages and getting into high-speed chases.
Uh-huh. Okay, continue.
Possessing an infinite amount of fuck-all swagger, infamous for their non-verbal modus operandi.
Nonverbal. Say nothing. Nonverbal?
If a skull spots you, he will pull out his dagger and stab you without saying a word.
Is that so? Cool. Cindy didn't. Is that relevant? Continue.
The lieutenant's voice is as calm as usual, a testament to the violence and death he's witnessed through the sight of his firearm.
That is indeed. Continue.
They usually occupy the burnt-out quarter in Jamrock, or you can find them loitering around their brightly painted, bottom-lighted vehicles.
I see. Okay, well, thanks for filling me in.
I can't wait to become a skull. Bottom lights are wretched aggressive.
I'm sure. How does one join the Skulls? Because I'm guessing talking to the cops about how much you want to be Skulls probably ain't a great place to start. Do you know Cindy the Skull?
Oh yeah, Cindy's a right proper skull.
The young man's eyes glaze over, his voice filled with longing. Great. Continue?
Yeah, a true artist of the future. Just like Arno van Eyck.
The other guy lights up too. Arno van Eyck, there he is again. Continue?
By the way, if you see Cindy, give her our regards.
He adds, returning from whatever's void he was just visiting. How can I possibly do that? You won't even tell me who you are. Continue.
For all their nihilistic posturing, these young men are not lacking in youthful idealism.
That does seem to be the case. Continue.
The lieutenant on your left is unusually lenient toward them.
I suppose because they're interested in vehicle stuff? I see you kids are into Anodic dance music. Why aren't there more skulls in Martinez? Your rhetoric is confusing. Are you part of the Skulls or not? Enough about this scullery, then. Tons. So, Anodic dance music?
Oh man, yeah. We're not fucking kids, man.
He exclaims, then stops himself, processing the rest of your question. I mean, yeah, I get that, but, like, I'm at least 30 years older than you, so, like, I get to call you kids if I want. Continue.
Be wary of the abyss.
His blonde friend adds ominously and points to his temple. Do you have a head-based abyss? Because I feel like I do, too. Why?
Probably because of how non-verbal their mode of operation is going to be. It's a threat.
The lieutenant answers for the two rebels. A threat. Good, I like those. Don't fuck with me, boys. I'm one of the bad cops. I just wanted to talk about music, and now there's a conflict all of a sudden. It's too much. Nervously shake your head. How do we want to go about this? I mean, if I nervously shake my head, they'll probably be encouraged that their threats are working. This is... I tried that once. I'm not sure it was a great idea. Do I like those? Do I like threats? I'm going to nervously shake my head.
That's right. You should back off and let silence rule supreme.
The young man says, looking unsure of himself. Continue.
This is ridiculous. Boys, do you know why the gang is called Skulls?
The lieutenant gives you an irritated glance. Me? What did I do? Continue.
Yeah. The skull symbolizes the embrace of death and nothingness, present in all of us, the vehicle of our future operations. Death and nothingness.
Uh-huh. Continue.
They're called Skulls because when you are shot dead in the middle of the street, the skull is the only part the stray dogs want to eat.
Okay. Continue.
Just trust me and follow my lead.
Kim, maybe you shouldn't scare them like that. So, boys, want to feed the dogs? Just trust me and follow my lead. I'll trust him and follow his lead. So, boys, want to feed the dogs?
No reply. The blonde rebel scratches his chin, deliberately not focusing his gaze on anything. He looks very uncomfortable.
I imagine he does. Continue.
The other one shuffles uncomfortably, nevertheless continuing to steal glances at the lieutenant's motor carriage.
Okay, so we've intimidated them somewhat. What are we attempting to accomplish here? I'm not really sure. Why aren't there more skulls in Martinez? Your rhetoric's confusing. Why aren't there more skulls in Martinez?
The Union does their share of policing in Martinez, at least where gangs are concerned.
The lieutenant replies
That's why
instead.
there isn't much organized crime around here.
I mean, I guess that's good. Continue. Aside from that, the Union is ostensibly run by what may be a group of organized crime, but whatever. Continue.
Don't you worry about that. We're gonna make up for the deficit.
Well, you weren't intimidated that long, huh?
Yeah, we are.
The young men exchange approving nods. Do we call them out on their rhetoric? I'm pretty sure they're not part of the Skulls. They've been pretty clear about that, but I guess let's go ahead and pursue it. Are you part of the Skulls or not?
We're not franchise skulls. Well, not yet. Once we get our name out there, we'll have a chance to join them.
And what makes you think that the organization would accept you? I see. I'm going with the questioning. Why? Why would that work out for you?
Because we can be just as psycho and vicious. You'll see.
Uh-huh. Continue.
But in a non-threatening and definitely legal way.
The other one quickly adds and whispers something to his friend. Continue.
We'll fuck the system from the inside later. Just be cool now. The damage will be tenfold.
That's a lot of stuff to whisper directly in front of the cops. Also continue.
Right on, fuck. So what's happening now?
Oh, you actually refer to each other by the names on the backs of your jackets. Interesting. The blonde agrees and provocatively spits on the pavement. Okay, enough about the scullery then, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
He throws a longing glance at the kinema. So what's with the jackets there, boys?
What about them?
Turn to the blonde youth. Why does your jacket have piss written on it? Turn to the dark-haired youth. Why do you have fuck the world written on your jacket? Actually, forget about it. Let's start with fuck the world. How are you doing?
Like I said before, many men keep searching for the one, for so-called true love, which is actually just obsession masquerading as kinship. The thrill of the chase, the hollowness that fills your chest cavity after catching it.
Uh-huh. Continue.
I'm wondering if the poetics come with the jacket, or are they derived from something else entirely?
It does sound like he has some source of inspiration here. Continue.
To catch a fish, you'll need to hurl the lure many times, and even then it isn't certain that you'll get anything. If you blow up the lake, though...
Blow it up! That is a terrible metaphor. If you blow up the lake... I mean, all the fish will be dead, yes. That's not very good. Is this just being excited about the concept of blowing up the lake? Blow up the lake! Blow it up! Yeah! No, it's a terrible metaphor, sorry.
You get more fish in a shorter time. And, for time is of the essence and fleeting ever so quickly, one must think of a way to fuck the whole world and not get caught up in fucking someone.
Did you just get, like, dumped? Is that where this is coming from? Continue.
Because when one fucks everything, he fucks nothing. And that, to me, feels glorious. Sticking your dick into the void.
It's like he's trying to be a philosopher, but he's also got, like, 14-year-old adolescent puberty brain, you know? He's not 14. I'm not saying he's 14. But, yeah, that seems to be the two conflicting forces at work here. Continue.
Hate to admit it, but in a weird way, he's got a point.
Cool, Rhetoric. Thank you for that. So, blonde youth, what's going on with your jacket?
Well, first off, it's a statement and not necessarily something that characterizes me as a person, even though the statement has character. And I do like piss.
You do like piss. Okay, continue.
The word piss epitomizes the struggle taking place in the world. Things being defined as they seem, not as they are. And, I guess, it's also about communal spirit, the future, and truly appreciating our differences.
Is it, though? You were weirdly prepared for me to ask about your jacket. Is that just because I talked to Fuck the World first? Continue.
Also, you've got to admit, it catches the eye. And since the Grand Piper is slowly but steadily moving towards basing the economy on it, attention, it is imperative that the medium itself convey the message.
What? Makes sense. I'm not sure it does. I'm going to question you further.
What I mean by this is we are all pissed and that the world is inherently meaningless.
Great. Continue.
It seems that the young man has a certain expertise in at least one field, even if it's rather narrow.
Seems like it. Thanks for the $2. Continue.
Is it a coincidence that here we have 2 badass jackets and 2 badass cops?
Are you suggesting? Are you suggesting we take their jackets, savoir-faire? Hey, Kim, lower your voice. Or definitely coincidence. Hey, Kim,
Yes?
do you think it's a coincidence? What do you think about their jackets? I guess we're doing this. Do you think it's a coincidence?
What is?
There are 2 of us and 2 of these jackets.
What are you implying?
Lieutenant looks confused. Which one would you wear? You know what I'm implying. We should get these jackets. He's not going to go for it. And he's not going to think highly of me for even suggesting it. Which one would you wear?
I'm not sure I understand you, detective.
Are you more of a piss or a fuck the world kind of guy?
Neither.
Come on, Kim. It's just a mental exercise.
Fine, if only to end this discussion. Theoretically, if I were a juvenile delinquent, if I were to already be down that path, I think piss is the stronger of the 2 statements.
I suppose. No way. If anything, I'm the piss in this scenario. That works. I feel more like a fuck the world kind of guy. I'm going to go along with it. Sure, Kim. Sounds good. I'll take this one.
Seems about right.
The lieutenant
especially
remarks.
considering your heroic exit attempts.
That was like 3 days ago, man. Continue.
That's an origin story for a dynamic duo right there.
I guess. Continue?
So are we done here? Or you don't need us around for your secret whisper party, do you?
One of the jacket owners asks impatiently. So I haven't asked about the murder yet, but now I have the option to Half-Light, Legendary 14, ask for the jackets for yourself and the lieutenant. Demonstrated authority. Kim showed good tactics. They're just off-brand skulls. I have Half-Light equipment. If we want to do this, and I kind of do, first let's ask about the murder.
Murder?
A man was hanged in the backyard of the Whirling in Rags. Never mind, this is useless. Sure. Man was hanged.
Yeah, sure. We'll gladly tell you everything we know about it.
He clears his throat.
It was a man.
Continue.
Also, he was hanged.
Anything else? Don't fuck around. I am the law. Anything else?
He was hanged from a tree.
Is that so? Continue.
Yeah, I mean, duh.
Continue.
These punks don't know anything. Let's just move along.
Sure. Continue.
Hey, stop right there. How does one know anything?
Oh boy, here we go. Continue.
This sounds like epistemology, a field so occupied by thought that it begins to question thought itself.
Okay. I know that you don't know shit. I'm not going to entertain you with this any longer. How does one know anything? This sounds like the back out option, which suggests that I know you don't know shit is the not back out option?
Exactly. How can one know shit? For example, how can one be sure that there truly is a body hanging behind a hostel?
Well, I mean, there isn't anymore, but continue.
What if it's art? Or just a mere specter?
That could be the case, yes. A brilliant work of art. It's not. A man is dead and we need answers. I feel like we already discussed the concept of it being art, right? When we were examining the body in the first place, Kim and I talked about that, so you're being derivative right now, first off. Man is dead, though.
So what do you think we know?
Nothing in particular. Well, talking with you has definitely been something. Leave. Okay, hang on, right? Hang on. Just give me a second, okay? Give me just a... Okay, what was it? It was this. This increases half-light. Does anything else? I don't think I have anything else that increases half-light, right? Give me a second. I don't, and that's not a huge surprise. Okay, but here's the thing, right? Let me just examine my map for a moment. Here it is, my map. So, let me just... Racist lorry driver. The formidable half-light check. If I want to get the information about the woman out of anyone, and I don't want to lean on Tommy and ruin my reputation with him, I need to increase half-life to do that, right? I could just do it. I got a skill point. I could just spend it on it. It's a red check. This one with the kids here is a red check. So, how much do I want these jackets? Do we do it? Kind of flies in the face of everything I've been doing so far. It's not really what I do usually, but I don't even know if I'd ever wear the jackets. But I mean, Kim set the basis for this. This is what we accomplished by Kim and I having that approach to this. Fine. Fine, let's do it. Why not?
That is fucking lightning.
The young man exclaims.
Hey, piss. Look who it is. Shrunken cophead material.
Is that so? I got a 72% chance. Things are never going to get better than this in terms of my chances. Let's do it. Jackets. Ah, I failed.
These guys aren't scary. You're not scary.
Man.
I have nothing to work with here. It's either begging or bullying, or both. Just ask them, maybe.
Come on, man. We had such good chances. Fine. I need your jackets, gentlemen.
Why?
Do I have to answer that? Point at your clothes. Look at the shit I'm wearing. I need them for official police business. This is actually a pretty good windbreaker. I need him for official police business.
And what kind of business is that exactly?
Police business.
The lieutenant notices your agitation and opens his mouth to speak, then decides against it and merely shakes his head.
I guess no jackets for me. Continue.
Okay, we get it. You look like total shit. We look flashy as hell. What about it?
There's a spark of sympathy in the youth's eyes. Continue.
He didn't say that.
It's not shit, it's disco. I'm wearing horrible clothes to catch horrible people. It's depressing. My clothes make me sad. I need to fun it up. Leather would be such a cool look on me. I'm wearing horrible clothes to catch horrible people. It's depressing.
The lieutenant looks down at his bomber jacket and shrugs, obviously content with his uniform.
Please. Fuck it, I don't deserve a cool jacket. I suck. It's not gonna work, but let's try it.
Fine. Fuck it.
The young man
Here.
takes the jacket off.
Take it then. I can't handle this sad shit.
I got it. I did it. Continue.
It's true. He simply can't. It's called empathy.
Continue.
Wow. I did not see that coming. You better wear that jacket with pride.
I sure got the wrong jacket, though, didn't I? Continue.
Fuck that. You're not getting mine.
The other one snaps at you.
My dad's a lawyer in La Delta. He'll have your badge.
I'm sure he is. Continue.
No, he won't.
Continue.
The lieutenant is lightly amused by the situation.
Wait, world fucker. You got a rich dad? Turn to Kim. I know you said you're more of a... I'm sorry, I just said it out loud. I'm sorry. I'm going to just screen that out. I didn't even mean to say it. Kind of guy, but we only have one jacket and I want it. Turn to Kim. Fuck it, we don't need the other one. You said you're more of a kind of guy, so I got the jacket for you. This is the wait option. You got a rich dad?
No.
He looks startled.
He's like a volunteer lawyer. A total bitch. Cites law and does dishes.
Uh-huh, continue.
You know what, cop? Fuck you. That's not what this is about. You're not getting my jacket.
Am I not, though? Continue.
Fuck him. We don't need his rich dad jacket anyway.
Okay, well, I've only got one option now, so I got the jacket for you, Kim.
I'm not wearing that jacket.
Why not? You could really raise hell, go undercover, hard. But don't you want to express your individuality? He's already expressing his individuality. You could really raise hell.
I don't think this case requires us to go undercover or raise hell. In fact, I don't think the jacket will be useful at all.
Still, it's good to know that we have it should the need arise. Okay, well, I'll keep it then. I mean, it might arise, you don't know.
The need will not arise.
Kim.
Look at this cute shit. How can we become skulls if you go around fraternizing with cops? Let's get the fuck out of here before anyone sees us.
The dark-haired youth points at you, then turns to his friend. Okay, continue.
Fuck. I'm sorry, man.
He hangs his head in
I
shame.
Just don't like confrontations, that's all.
And... Great. Well, I got that. I got that. A leather jacket that quite recently belonged to a young man who possessed some intimate knowledge on the human condition. It has his nom de guerre written on the back. It's quite a statement. +1 drama, no fucks given. -1 authority. Wait, I'm a detective? What am I doing? Kim? Kim. Excuse me, Kim. What
Yes?
am I doing? Nothing. I'm gonna call the radio.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
Radio.
This is Precinct 57.
Armor
How may-
boots?
Still no word, I'm afraid.
I'm done.
57.
In the cabin,
Bye. I'm gonna... I can't even change jackets because I gotta go intimidate the friggin' racist lorry driver. I'm gonna do that right now. Feel somewhat okay about my decisions today. Hi, how are you?
Looking for something, Hunt? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
I mean, that was the idea, but that's even now I only have even odds. Man, this is the best I can do, 42%. I mean, I lost on a 70% chance, so... Yeah, one more try.
failing
Dang it.
the last time was so demoralizing and puzzling that you just can't work up the rage anymore.
Man. I'm done for now. I'm a terrible detective. I'm terrible at doing this. Ugh. Okay, alright. I'm gonna go call me Manana. Because I don't know what else to do with myself. I'm deeply disappointed in myself in a lot of regards right now. Man. Hi, call me Manana. How are you? Can you help me get to your boss?
I guess getting past the man ain't that simple after all.
He pauses to think.
So, what now?
The measurehead thing didn't go well for me. Could you help me with that somehow?
Sorry. Busy surveying the situation.
Takes a swig from his
I'm
flask.
sure you'll figure something out. You guys have all sorts of gadgets these days.
Do we, though? Continue.
Wiretapping, telescopic batons, futuristic circuit bending to infiltrate harbor machinery. Maybe you could even knock that Kowalson crane over using some remote controls.
You may be overestimating our capacity to manipulate the situation a little bit. Continue.
Or calling in tactical air support. You guys have air support, right?
He stops to think. Turn to Kim. Wait, we have air support? Why didn't you tell me? I'm pretty sure we don't. At least not all of these things. No, Kim knows. Do we have air support? Do we have air support, Kim?
Because we don't. We don't have air support or any of those other things.
Right, I didn't think so. Continue.
I get it. Hush hush about the secret technology.
He pats the size of his nose with his index finger. Continue.
All right, I may have some advice for you on how to deal with Jean-Luc there.
Really?
Out of solidarity to the RCM. It's low in technology, however.
That's great. We ain't got none, yes?
First, don't fight him.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Uh-huh.
Second, get him to share his theory by being subordinate. Admit your lack of expertise. Basically, grow them. That's how I do it.
He tips his beret and concludes.
You're welcome.
Great. Thank you. Continue.
Maybe that would work. We'll have to see.
I guess we'll have to see. Good talking to you. Gotta run. Does that mean I get have another chance to try the brain thing with Measurehead? It kind of seems that way, doesn't it? All right. I've been getting on the bad decision train all day today. Sure, let's make another bad decision. Hi, Measurehead.
The race descent has only worsened since I last saw you.
Manana's
You
hint.
have really let yourself go.
It's almost impossible for me to fail this at this juncture, but I've been rolling so poorly lately that give me just a second to put on my conceptualization gear, okay? Hang on. Shirt. Jacket. Oh, hey, I'm still wearing the Savoir Faire glasses. Let me just... There. And then... Apparently that's all I got. Oh, boy. I sure have this now. Hi, Measurehead.
Your race descent has only worsened.
Subscribe to his
since
advanced
last
race
saw
theory.
You have.
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
Measurehead, I am new to this world. Help me understand its races. I need to know what kind of different races there are. Are there? I don't want to do that, opt-out. I don't want to do that, but this is what I'm here to do. So I guess I'm gonna do it.
Do you?
The lieutenant looks at you. I do. Whisper, this is for the thing. On second thought, I don't. Relinquish the opportunity to learn advanced race theory. This is for the thing, Kim! It's for the thing!
The lieutenant looks toward the harbor's electronic door, and then to you. He lets out an audible sigh.
The only other option is to punch him in the face, Kim. What do you want from me? Continue.
You are obviously a liberal, Sailite.
The man tells him.
A polyculturalist. I can see it from your love of microtechnology and your sartorial choices. Do not deny your friend the truth you have denied yourself.
I hate this. Go ahead, Measurehead.
There are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic races. Type B, the servile races. And the vile CF race cauldron of pederasty. Which one do you need education?
I guess we'll start from the top. Type A, type B, and we got the vile see-through race cauldron of pederasty, please. Okay, well, I guess.
Those are the Simonese, the Areopagite, and the Occidentals, excluding the Maun, of course.
Of course, why?
The Maun are riddled with eczema to the point where they find it impossible to smile. They are all lactose intolerant, a common result of inbreeding.
I hate talking to you. Continue.
A receding genetic pool has led the Maun on reprehensible street parades. In Maun cities like Stadskanal and Vredefort, wearing wooden clogs on their feet and little green tassels on their hats.
Uh-huh. Wait, exactly who are the Maun?
You know them by the names of their nation-states. The Oranese, the Gotwaldians, and the Königsteiners. My people simply call them Maun.
Okay, sure, continue.
Mahun is a derogative term for first world people of Gotwaldian descent. They do not all have eczema. Also, people of Katla, like the Suru and the Uhu, are much more lactose intolerant.
Cool, thank you, Encyclopedia. Appreciate the $2 as well. The wooden clogs, though?
In some municipalities of Oranje, people do wear shoes made of wood to street parades. Green, orange, and even yellow tassels have also been seen on hats.
It's almost like this guy is racist and his facts aren't facts. Great, continue.
The Maun are proof that you can have too much Occidental racial purity and tassel-centric culture. Inbreeding has led to a lactose-intolerant subrace whom no one can take seriously.
Or at least not you. Continue.
Colorful tassels are, let's be honest, not a good sartorial choice for this century. You might want to avoid wooden clogs too.
Noted, I guess. Okay, got it. Who are Type A then, in your view?
The Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messina, the ancient Meteorans of Meteo by the golden Pisantic Sea, the Suren of Sur-la-Clé, and even the North Königsteiners, all have Type A race propensities.
Lovely. Glad to hear it. Continue.
The other large Mondial civilization, the Mesk, are too yellow and oleaginous to count as a heroic race.
Too yellow.
True. They are violent and expansionist. but they have a glandular problem.
Violent and expansionist being a good thing here. Just so we're all on the same page. He draws his finger across his face. Continue.
Overproduction of sebum. Sebum is leaking into their brains, making them listen to El Mariachi music and eat toxic minced meat-based food, which in turn only produces more sebum.
Uh-huh. And who are the Seminese and Areopagites in this? Pagites? Whichever.
As proven by the Maun and the Mesk, Occidental Type A is in retrograde. The Seminese and the Areopagite are on the ascent.
Uh-huh. And the Seminese are?
The indigenous people of this, the Insulindian archipelago. The Seminese inhabit the southern islands.
He gestured toward the south across the ocean.
I am Seminese, from the stock of Ulembuir on Ile de Fantôme.
I did remember that, actually. You make a pretty substantial point about it. And the Areopagites?
The Areopagites are the master race of the Ile Maran deserts.
Uh-huh.
The Seminese are descendants of the Areopagites. We came here during a heroic migration from Ile Marat to Ansuland. Thousands of years before the lactose-intolerant Maun Occidentals discovered this place.
You seem to have a lot of focus on lactose intolerance for some reason, don't you? Is that just is that a racist thing? Is that common to other racist people? I don't know. What's the difference between the Seminese and the Areopagites? Continue receiving wisdom.
The Areopagites are sleek, long-headed. The Seminese are powerful, mesomorphic. The former is an immutable progenitor, unchanged since the Super Isola of Pericarnassus.
Great.
Ancient brains rest in their slender skulls.
He falls silent, contemplating the beauty and the mystery of their ancient brains and their slender skulls. Continue.
The latter is perfected and adapting. Together they form the Simeno-Areopagite, or Simeopagite super race. That is all. There are no more Type A races in the world.
So it would seem. Continue.
Nature was not capable of more.
So says Inland Empire, so says Measurehead. Type B, please.
Type B are the unheroic races, amorphous non-competitors of the great race. The Khoikos and the Vacholiers, they are mud-colored people.
Uh-huh. Continue.
The Khoikos of Grad, Yugo, Zhimsk, Shest et al. Are what you would call white, officer, in a suspect description.
Uh-huh. You said Khoikos. I've been trained to identify them as white in official descriptions. Mud-colored? Sure, let's go ahead and be pedantic to him, since we're going to have to listen to him go on and on about basically racism for apparently like 20 minutes.
Yes. To an untrained eye, the Khoiko appear white and pinkish, like a ham sandwich.
Sandwich.
But look into their eyes and you will see.
He squints, full of sage wisdom.
They are of an indistinct color, and so is their skin. Unhealthy, muddy, and ashen.
So you can't be racist based on their appearance, so you be racist based on what you judge their appearance to actually be if you can see to the inside of them. What are you... Continue.
Pinkness is a racial quality that has to be earned through centuries of advanced ballistic warfare and cultural domination that the Grad people have undergone for drinking Al Ghul and smoking the degenerate tobacco herb, and for eating potato.
Hey man, you back off of potatoes. Continue.
The Khoiko, the countless micronationalities of Grad, are all inexplicably obsessed with potat. The only thing they like more is dividing into microscopic ethnostates, like political amoeba.
So what's the problem with potatoes? Explain. Continue.
Wouldn't he be one for ethnostates?
You don't like ethnostates? And the Vacholiers you mentioned. You don't like ethnostates?
They are microscopic. The Semeno-Areopagite superstate will cover the entire remaining planetary crust, uninterrupted. From Holy Semenine to the Boreal Plateau of Katla.
So he likes ethno-states, but big ones only. Continue.
Its leaders will be the genetic epitome of the Semenese and Areopagite stock, elected by nature, not the base inner spoilage called demos.
Demos. The what now? And the Vosheliers you mentioned?
The Vasholians, halfway between Type A and the Racial called Ron. Two makes to know right from wrong. You tried your degenerate little revolution, which was the single greatest failure committed by humans in our 82,000-year history on this planet.
82,000 years, huh? And that was the greatest failure, was it? Says... Okay, sure, continue.
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening. But that seems a little off.
Does it? I'm pretty sure history hasn't lasted that long. I've heard about this revolution. Mistakes were made, but it was the right stuff. You were wrong about it. That revolution was perpetrated by degenerate left-wing marauders, not all the people of Revachol. Go away, stupid political thoughts. What was this revolution? Okay, well, first let's entertain Encyclopedia. I'm pretty sure history hasn't lasted that long. You're just going to say I'm a degenerate. Whatever, go ahead.
The mysteries of the people of this planet are a tragedy that has played out countless times over, like a fever dream of skin, hair, and bone. Wake up, naive Chespius.
Naive Chespius. Okay, cool. Thanks for that. So, we like the revolution, we hate the revolution, we don't want to talk about the revolution. I feel like... Sure. It was they had the right idea, right? Like, it was... I mean, that's the communist thought, and I did discard the communist thought, but if I had to choose between fascism and communism, I'm going to choose communism every time, man. I don't know what to tell you. You're wrong about it.
The revolution came to Ravachol from Grad, in Zarath-ridden potato carts.
Oh, it's the potatoes again!
It is literally an illness.
Uh-huh.
A prion disease that leaves the parietal and frontal lobe ridden with holes. A soft, sponge-like mass of dementia, hallucination, and paranoia.
So, eating potatoes rots your brain and makes you a communist? Is that what you're saying? Continue?
The revolution is fatal familial insomnia. A hereditary prion condition passed from the coico to the occidental.
He pauses in theoretic self-reflection.
But not sexually. Probably through trade roots and potate acid, the prime component of the potato plant.
So it's genuinely just the friggin' potatoes. It's just the potatoes. Continue.
Enough of Tibet mediocrity.
He nods, satisfied with the outcome. Okay, well, let's talk about everybody else, please.
Tips CF are a museum of failed chimeric experiments and tragic maladaptations. They are tortured creatures waiting to be put to sleep. Your morbid interest in them worries me.
If that were the case, then why did you list them amongst the topics you would expound upon? Chimeric experiments? Yes, better not go into it. We're going into it. Experiments?
Lesser races like the mosquito, a grotesque mixture of a masked woman and a Semenese man.
Ah.
Only possible if the mother is masked and the father Semenese. The other way around, they fail to produce offspring.
Uh-huh. Okay, so we're getting into mixed races, which you consider to be the worst of the worst of the worst. Good. Lovely. Continue.
The mosquito is born sterile, like a donkey.
Uh-huh. He looks westwardly.
All they have left is to ride customized motor carriages with hydraulic suspension, listening to aggressive El Mariachi music to vent their impotent despair.
Sure. Great. Sounds lovely. Continue.
It seems unlikely that two human beings produce genetically sterile offspring.
Maybe I've misunderstood something, but aren't humans too similar to produce genetically sterile offspring? Question mark? Anymore? Enough of C to F. Sure, logic. Let's try it.
You are right. You have misunderstood. You lack basic phylogenetic education.
Do I now? Any more?
Then there is the Seminokoiki Chimera.
He pauses dramatically to not very loud.
Are you sure you wish to know of the Seminokoiki Chimera? It is not an aesthetic site.
Yes, better not to. The Seminotic Koiko Chimera seems like more than I could handle right now. Just finish up your race theory, Measurehead.
The Koiko, as you know, are very servile.
As you know, anyway.
Especially
Great.
when they meet the rich man. Racial scientists have toyed with the idea of crossing the Seminese with the Koiko to produce a super worker of Seminese strength and great servility.
I don't... Continue.
This will never happen. The Seminese and the Koiko may have similar interbreeding problems as the mosquito. We will never know precisely. No Seminese man could maintain an erection in the suffocating potato stench of a Koiko woman, or Koika.
Thank you for the classification. I feel that no one has ever hated potatoes as much as you do. But you seem to hate a lot of things, don't you? Continue.
But enough. It is cruel to entertain ourselves with the deformities of Type F. Were there any able-bodied races you needed education on?
Now that we've been through all the types, do I understand advanced race theory, Measurehead?
You understand nothing.
Uh-huh.
To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, what is the race enigma? You have not even worded the mystery, let alone solved it.
Will you let me into the harbor if I do? That's what this is all pinned on that. How do I word the mystery except? On second thought, I don't have time to get any deeper into this decline. Okay, hang on. Will you let me in if I do?
We will see.
That's not a very good answer, Measurehead.
Access to the Union is important for our investigation, but there may be another way in, without becoming a race theoretician.
Might there be, Kim? I hate talking to this guy so much. How do I word the mystery,
You need to internalize what you have heard here today, then return to me. This clarity does not come instantly.
Sure, great. Let's discuss something else.
I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss, Tibere Basholian. Your love for disco music and venereal disease?
Let's go over that funky race classification again. Yeah, let's not. Leave. So I have a new thought. Advanced race theory. Temporary research bonus, -1 drama, fooled by the absurdity. Research time, 1 hour and 40 minutes. A mass of fantastic races swirls in your head. Desert pygmies playing with their own excrement. Koikos juggling potatoes. Eczema-ridden mounds grinning and dancing on wooden clogs. Everyone is there, the whole race gang, plus some that you may have come up with yourself. The thieving sub-captain, the seal-light cast of fortunates, hatching some kind of scheme. In the eye of this race Empyrean, a vertigo reaching up to the heavens, you sense something drawing nearer. I'm glad that all these slurs that I just uttered are made up, as far as I know. Kim, I hate this. Kim, I hate this. Do we have any other better options? Is that really the best you got, Manana? Hi.
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you?
He looks at you with soft and hazy eyes. You can't, apparently. Good talking to you. I've only been awake for an hour and everything is terrible. Everything from start to finish is terrible. Well, we're leaving off here. Thank you for watching. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. Nothing is going anywhere. Nothing is going anywhere! Next time I'll try and do something about it. See you next time.